Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Edmonton's mayor seems convinced the government promised more money for the downtown arena, and he's right. This premier did promise to increase MSI funding, but has only managed to deliver a fraction of it. She's about $500 million short. Another promise made, another promise broken. As a result, Council had to postpone the arena vote, hoping the Premier would find the courage to keep her word. To the Premier, you made a promise to Edmonton. When are you going to keep it?
Honourable Minister of Municipal Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, we've made a commitment in the last election and through this budget to continue secure, stable funding to municipalities, Mr. Speaker, knowing full well that they have obligations to build infrastructure for the population increase of about 100,000 people per year we have in this province, Mr. Speaker. We managed to keep that secure, stable funding, the same amount of funding this year as we did last year, Mr. Speaker, which every municipality I've talked to has said that's a blessing so that they continue to deliver on the services and the infrastructure that people in their communities need, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member.
Speaker, I asked the Premier, not the wannabe Premier. Today, the City of Edmonton, which is starved for funds, had to go cap in hand to the Capital Region Board to secure $25 million for the downtown arena project that the Premier failed to deliver. Alberta Liberals have been asking this BC government to fund cities as promised and address the gross inequality in tax revenue between municipalities and rural districts and counties. Again, to the Premier, if you're not going to keep your MSI promise, when will you find the courage to fix this tax inequality?
Minister of Municipal Affairs and I today had a very productive meeting with the Capital Region Board, and I was really gratified to hear their thanks to this government for maintaining our support to MSI, Mr. Speaker, and funnily enough, Mr. Speaker, also gave us complete support with respect to the decisions we've taken to build infrastructure long-term in this province, Mr. Speaker. We have made a commitment to local decision makers that if they want to use infrastructure funds to support infrastructure priorities, that we are fully there behind them, but they will be their decisions, Mr. Speaker, and we have been consistent on that for more than 2 years.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. While the Minister of Municipal Affairs claims that 87% of Albertans are high-rise condo dwellers who don't carry their weight, and his Premier breaks promise after promise to municipalities, cities like Edmonton and Calgary are being forced to come up with creative ways to pay the bills. And while the Premier waits for the smoke to clear from the Cates affair, costs continue to rise. To the Premier, you promised a big city charter that included granting increased taxation power to the government closest to the people. Why have you not kept your promise to Edmonton and Calgary? Why, Premier?
Mr. Speaker, the cities, the municipalities, small and large, continue to have exceptional funding, the best funding in the entire country to help to support the priorities of people in those communities, Mr. Speaker. And we continue to work with the two largest cities on the charter that we had promised, Mr. Speaker, and we'll continue to work on it. It may be a little more complex, but that member should be the first to realize it is not my sole discretion to write it, sign it, and make it happen. It's a partnership between municipalities. We have more work than we thought we needed to do, and it's going to take through to the fall, but we're going to continue to work on it, Mr. Speaker, because it's our commitment that it's a partnership to build a better Alberta.